I know when that hotline bling.
I know when that hotline bling.
Also, I'm getting my feet in this. Like, I hope no one's got a foot fetish.
I do. Milo does.
Milo has a big fat foot fetish.
Honestly, getting the new guy that I'm seeing into it as well.
Yes.
He's never done foot stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Doing foot stuff. No, I like
little foot fetish.
It's just crazy. Like, it's so wild. Sometimes I think about the stuff that we say on here.
And forget that it's like going out there
Going
into
to the world. And I'm like, I've got a foot fetish. And so like any guy who will become my husband, if you just want to know what makes me tick, just go watch some of these podcasts.
This. Correct. Putting it out there.
Anyway, welcome back to Boujee Girl Hotline.
Oh my God, we know it so well now.
We know it so well. Oh, girlies, you know what you got to do. You got to
like and subscribe. Otherwise, Milo will get depressed.
Literally.
She a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, then she's working. She throw it out and come back in. That's my best friend.
So,
Dad,
we got some more questions today.
this topic is all things beauty.
Girlies, please, like we get these messages on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. So find us anywhere. DM us separately or DM us together. But we want to know your questions because we got some advice to
We got
give
some
ya.
advice.
We got some 2 cents to add in.
And we love it. We love it. It's so hard for us to not reply in the moment and to save it for these videos.
Yeah, because
so
some of them are really juicy.
No, we have to like them and not reply. So sorry, no offense, but we're waiting for this thing.
Oh, this is a good one.
Ew.
Okay, so at Tommy K, or maybe I shouldn't say that.
Oh my gosh, she's about to say his full
Me,
name.
like just putting the freaking Instagram handles out there. Okay, so Tommy said, do you think men even care about filler and Botox, or is it all for other women?
It's
a good question.
Good question. I would say that men do not care. And the reason I will say this is because I've spoken to
Interesting.
people
Yeah.
and men who always say they don't even notice. Like, they literally don't notice.
Unless it's a big difference.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
When it's like subtle work, right? You know, I've had like boyfriends be like to me, I don't even know like what that even means. Like, I can't tell the difference with you. Like,
yeah, but then they always choose people like Kim Kardashian or Kendall and be like, look how naturally beautiful they are with that makeup.
yeah, this is true. I'm
Do you
trying
know
to
what I mean?
I'm trying to shadow men in like a really nice light, but actually,
I don't think so.
I think they just
like
don't
it.
know.
I think they like it, but they don't want to know what you're doing. I
This
think
is
they
true.
want you to look as good as you can for as long as you can, and they don't want to know what you're doing.
Do you know the
they
funny
just want to
thing
know
is?
that you look like that naturally.
Yeah, so for my job, I talk to a lot of men who they have to like look at these girls and talk about their beauty standard, and it'll be like, okay, extreme natural to heavily done,
Right.
and then in the middle.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will say natural, and then in the middle, and then they'll look at the girls and they'll pick out people that are not natural.
See?
What's going on?
It doesn't
there?
make it make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Men are visual, and that's totally fine.
Men be like, Kendall Jenner is just like the ultimate wifey. She's so natural. Bear in mind, she's probably had $400,000 of work done.
Literally, but the work is so good.
So good.
This is what I mean. Like,
So
get it done.
Yeah.
And I would say, look, we do definitely get it done for other women, right?
I think it's mostly women, honestly. Like, half of the stuff that I think about, like, I love getting. There's nothing better than getting a compliment from a woman.
Especially in the bathroom when someone doesn't know you, they're like, oh my God, babe, like,
Yes.
you look amazing.
Yes,
and
that
it's
is
like,
the
thank you.
best. And girls are just so lovely for that.
Right?
And like, even on the street, if you stop something, like, oh my God, I love your bag. I love your hair. I love your makeup. Anything.
Yes.
It's just really nice getting a compliment from a girl. Even, okay, because like, let's be real, not all men love skinny girls. I think that's more of a woman thing.
I also think so, but I like curvy.
Yeah, but
I do. I've always been a curves girl. That I do like that.
A lot of girls will lose weight and will want to look good and will want to be skinny because of that toxic culture, which comes mainly from girls, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think like definitely women care more about it than men do, but men like it. They don't know what it is that they like, but they just like that you look better.
Men just like you to look good, let's be real.
Like, that's what I mean. So let's just say you're a girlie who doesn't really have any lips. And then all of a sudden you get like 0.5 mil on the top, 0.5 mil on the bottom. You get a little bit more plumpness. The guy's going to be like, oh, wow, she looks good. Like,
and not only that, it's the confidence that will bring you.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So yes, I do think guys care, but they don't really know what it's called.
Because they're just guys.
Right?
Yeah.
But they'll like it.
They'll like
if
it.
you get some good work done, they'll be like, damn.
They're not going to be like, ew, you look better. yuck.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, keep that up. That's
Exactly.
great. So, yes, I do think that they care. But that was a good question.
I agree.
So, Sophia says, where's the line between enhancing yourself and completely changing who you are? I would say that line is in the name of, what was that girl, the blonde chick who did like all those surgeries in a day?
Heidi Montag.
Heidi Montag. The line is drawn
The
at
line
Heidi Montag.
The line was drawn,
The
just
line
like
was
her
drawn.
whole body was drawn.
Exactly.
That was too much because she was already beautiful. Like, I don't know why she did all that. I think,
A little bit here and there. I believe in a sprinkling.
A sprinkling.
sprinkling.
Something that's going to enhance
And
and
upkeep.
not fully
That's it.
change. Yeah, upkeep for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I think anti-aging always.
Yes.
When it comes to like completely changing every inch of your body and of your face and everything that makes you,
That's mental problems.
like she literally changed everything that could be. I think it was 11 procedures in one day or something, which is
that
like
was ridiculous.
I don't even know how that's legal
I
or
don't think
healthy.
yeah.
It's not healthy. But yeah, like I just think that's taking things too far because she doesn't
Yeah.
look like herself.
Yeah, I agree. I think the line gets drawn between when you're doing something for maintenance versus when you're doing something to change your identity.
Exactly.
That's the line. So we do maintenance stuff.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
once a year, you do a little like sprinkling of whatever it is, some PRP, some, you know, laser facial, salmon skin, maybe your
skin,
crow's feet, you know
yeah.
what I mean? And then, you know, every 5 to 10 years, maybe you do a little nip tuck, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
little-
if you're doing like full on cosmetic procedures, you're completely changing everything about you every single time you go and do something to look like a completely different person. Why?
It's also very hard to upkeep that as well. So for example, right, if you are trying to fill like a little bit of lost volume, you wanted to still keep the natural shape, everything, and just a little bit, that's great. Again, if you're like trying to change your contouring and add filler, it just, that's not your natural face shape.
Yeah.
So I think filler is actually made for loss of volume,
That's
not
what it's for.
adding
Exactly.
volume.
Yeah.
So I think fair enough. Like as we age, our lips do get smaller,
Yeah.
our facial fat
We lose
gets
fat.
smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I get that, and under the eyes we get sunken.
Yep.
Everything like that.
Yep.
Botox again is preventative.
Yep.
Don't start Botox too young either.
No.
Like that to me, people
Wild
start to
when
look
I
different again.
Literally
you
seeing
look
people
older.
like 21 doing Botox. So this is the line that we could draw here, right? With two celebrities. So you can either be like Jennifer Lopez, who I still think looks fantastic, right? She gets a lot of,
She's just had a lot of work done. Yeah.
but still for me, it's more of a sprinkling. She still looks like
tasteful.
Jennifer Lopez.
It's tasteful,
You can
yeah.
still tell it's her.
Yeah.
Or are we doing a Michael Jackson? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a clear difference there.
Yeah. Michael Jackson had a complete
Identity
shift.
Yeah.
Like he went from black to white.
So it's mental problems.
Mental problem. His nose looked like he had done it 10 times. Like
This is the line.
Yeah.
That's the line. You have to ask yourself, am I maintaining or am I trying to change who I am?
yeah, because if you're trying to change who I am, you need to do some introspective work first.
Pay for therapy first. A guy has asked us this, Ryan. He said, Ryan.
Right. Sorry, right. He's like, I'm never asking a question again.
Would you it's ADHD. Would you date someone who's had a lot of work done, or is it a turn off? Right, are we talking about a girl or a guy?
I don't get it. Would we date someone?
Well, would I date a guy that's had a lot of work done, or is it a turn off? Okay. Oh,
That's a
so
good
this guy
question.
that I'm seeing,
Oh my gosh.
he waxes his legs, he waxes his eyebrows.
He doesn't watch this anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't. He gets
You are watching.
No, you are. No, look, that could be considered work done.
Yeah, if
right?
we're talking from the men's world, like work, I guess could just be like any kind of like extra like beauty.
But
or
if he's getting lip filler and shit, no, that's a hard line. Because I've met a lot of men. You're laughing, but like this is a big thing in Sydney. I've met a lot of men who have lip filler.
like straight men.
Yes. So I can't. So no, that I've got to draw the line at like hair removal is okay.
Hair removal. Oh, like
yeah,
yeah. I
do you
thought you
mean?
meant like on the head. I think
No, but-
if someone was to get plugs in that, I'm fine with that.
Okay, plugs, veneers,
that's surgery.
fine. I don't like the turkey teeth.
I don't like turkey teeth, but a little bit of composite bonding.
Oh yeah,
nothing too-
whitening your teeth.
Whitening,
That's
whatever,
great. Because
yeah.
I want you to look as young as I look for as long as possible as well.
Even if guys want to get a little preventative Botox, I'm happy with that.
Botox is a massive thing, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
fine.
Okay,
So,
maybe
like,
we would date someone who gets work done.
I would if it's, again, that's not changing.
Maintenance.
And yeah, that's not changing them. Like,
yeah, they're not getting like their jaw shaved and their forehead reduced, and they're not getting fillers in their cheeks, and they're not
in their lips, that's crazy.
and they're not getting I've met men with lip fillers, so I would draw the line there.
But did you kiss them?
No.
I was going to say, how would it feel to kiss a guy with filler?
No.
We wouldn't know.
He started talking to me, and I was just like, what are those gummy things on your
Are you
mouth?
sure it was filler?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was open about it too. They were open about it.
Okay, that's a hard no.
So that, I wouldn't date guys who have cosmetic work like that done.
No.
But if they've had like, look, if they used to have a big nose and they had a bit of a nose surgery, or they want to get their teeth whitened, or they want to get some hair plugs because they've got receding hairline.
Guys should be allowed to do that stuff as well.
100%. I'm all for that, babe. I'm all for that.
If women can enhance their appearance from that, then why shouldn't
Men
guys?
should too, yes. But I draw the line at, is he getting pec implants? Is he getting calf implants?
No, that's too much.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a fine line there, Ryan.
There is a fine line.
Would you date someone who gets work done? Who doesn't get work done these days?
Could not think of one person that hasn't had a single
Right?
cosmetic.
A single cosmetic thing.
Nah,
Impossible.
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 Unless they're like 12.
So Jade said, is the natural look, like quotes, actually natural anymore, or is it just better surgery?
Yes, it is better surgery.
Yeah, it's better cosmetic surgery.
Unless we're talking like someone who's very young. Although these days.
But if you're really young, you're not needing it anyway. You've got that beautiful, youthful glow.
Yeah, true. But there are people that can get
So let's
surgery
talk
at like
about
14.
someone who's like 38 and
Right.
she looks freaking amazing.
Well, okay, look, let's look at all these celebrities, right? That people are like, wow, she still looks this like Anne Hathaway, right? Let's talk Anne Hathaway. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Who else? Like,
Well, a really big one that just happened was Kris Jenner. Everyone saw that.
I
So that's a
mean-
really good example, actually, because she's, what, almost 70?
yeah, but this is not her pretending she's got a natural face.
No, but, like, people are just like, oh, wow, like, she must have had a great facial. No, she went and had an amazing facelift.
Well, J-Lo is the same though. Like
Right,
J-Lo,
exactly.
she claims to use olive oil. J-Lo had a facelift. Well,
Maybe she didn't have a deep plane, but she had a
smaz mid.
A mid face.
Anne Hathaway, beautiful work.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. That a little nip tuck pull of the skin, great.
Kylie Jenner, I think,
Yeah.
had a facelift,
Yeah.
a mid face, a neck.
Yeah,
If you see someone and their neck's tight,
that's what I want.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, eventually.
But this is what I mean. So yes, the natural look is just, it's better surgery. The techniques are getting better. The
Everything
doctors
is
are
just
getting
better,
better.
yeah.
And so like it looks great. And so why not lean into that?
And people are opting, I believe this as well, for surgery over cosmetic these days.
Absolutely.
It's like fat grafting is the new filler.
Yeah.
Facelifts are the new thread lifts, because it's like, why
Right.
would you not do that
Yeah.
if you genuinely need to? If you don't and you're like 20 and you want a facelift, silly.
Yeah.
But if you will rewind the clock and,
Yeah.
it's going to improve your appearance, why not?
Yeah, and I just think as well, like, that is also, it's natural. Like, I'd prefer to have a nip and a tuck over a thread or a massive filler, and I'd prefer fat any day, because I want my body to be able to metabolize this properly.
Exactly, not foreign. Foreign
No.
stuff, never good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, for me, that's why I personally took out my breast implants, because my body was starting to attack it after 10 years.
And I already had problems when I got my boobs in.
Right.
They're still relatively new, so I'm not taking them out yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And I won't be getting them replaced.
No, so we'll just do like, that's why we're doing fat into the boobs
Yeah.
next year, because again, natural, it's from my own body. I'm not going to reject it. I'm not going to have problems down the track.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
There is a line that you have to draw when it comes to enhancing your beauty. Is this actually going to be detrimental to your health? Mm-hmm. If it's not, I'm not going to do it.
No.
But if it's going to enhance my beauty and it's fine for me, my body's not going to reject it, why wouldn't I do the surgery?
And it's long lasting.
That's what I mean.
It's like
Why
low
wouldn't I do that?
maintenance. Do you want to go to the doctor every 6
No.
months or every 10 years?
Every 10 years, babe.
Exactly.
Obviously. So, I'm trying to think how I would answer this actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Hannah said, do you think that social media beauty standards are ruining self-esteem or pushing people to glow up?
Oh.
I don't know how to answer that. Do I think social media standards are ruining self-esteem? Yes. Right. I'm just going to say yes, 100%.
I think yes.
But I also think it's pushing people to glow up. So I think yes for both, but
I don't know. I think it's definitely pushed an unrealistic beauty standard.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is if we take it to like the 90s, right? And we had like the heroin chic era and we had, the Kate Moss and everything. Yes, it was like very unhealthy. Yes, everyone had eating disorders. However, the body that you were trying to achieve was achievable without a lot of enhancements, right? All you had to do was, I guess, undereat, which is not healthy. But like nowadays, it's like you need to be that thin and you need to have boobs. You need to have a bum. You need to have a thigh gap, big hips. You need to have...
Your waist needs to be small. Your
Your
tummy
waist needs to be
flat.
small. You need to have big lips, which for a lot of like white people and culture like that is not natural. You need to have a small ass nose. You need to have double eyelids with big eyes, high cheekbones, still enough fat in the face, but it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
And this is why everyone calls it the Instagram face. I feel like everyone is starting to semi look the same. All the influencers are starting to morph into like the same type of like this beauty type that we have made.
Not you and I looking the same.
Look, I've fallen into this trap. Like we
already looked similar beforehand.
Yeah,
So.
no, I know. But the thing is, like, I mean, that's different though. Like, we got the Lasian thing going on.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just talking that real, like, brat style,
Yeah.
like, big lips, eyes. It's just everything like that. It's not natural. No one has. I mean, they do, but very
Hey,
lucky.
some of us look more brats like naturally than others, and that's fine.
Yeah, no, but that's like a very like small percentage of the population.
But it is like
the
really
Coca-Cola
us.
body is not natural. Like
Yeah.
naturally, I have a pear-shaped body. I have a bigger bottom half and a smaller up half. Now I have fake implants that make my body look more hourglass.
Yeah, and I have almost no boobs at the top, but a big ass. Like
Yeah,
that's
so when
me
you had your
naturally.
implants, you would have been a proper hourglass.
Yeah.
And people would have looked at your body and been like, damn, I want
But you
that.
could tell,
like-
you could tell that they were fake boobs. They did not match my body at all.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, this is another thing that apparently is such a trend now. So you got people like, I don't know if you'll know these people, but like Brooke Schofield, Alex Earl, these are like massive influencers, and they are like, I'm talking 4 to 6 in size with these big ass boobs. And now everyone wants that look, that tiny, tiny, tiny with these big fat boobs. It's like, it's so unnatural.
Just don't follow trends.
No,
don't follow trends. Like social media can be there to help you glow up, which I
Yeah.
do still agree that when you see these people like getting nice haircuts, for example, like
Yeah.
that's a glow up.
It's great inspiration, I guess, if you're looking at that.
The brows, the
Yeah,
featherings, or
yeah.
like a little bit of like, oh, I just had this facial done. Like for me, I look to that and be like, oh, I wonder like what I could do there. For me, I see that as a glow up. But again, I am very secure in myself.
Yes.
So here's the thing, like if you're going to look at social media when it comes to beauty standards, you have to approach it from a lens of being super secure and loving yourself already with what you look like and just being like, how could I enhance? What would make me feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
Instead of how can I completely change who I am? How could I look like her?
Well, this is the thing, right? Whenever I look at like things that are going on the internet, everyone's just like, I want to be X. I want to look like X. They go to the surgeon, they're like, I want X's nose. I want X's eyes. I want X's... Like, it's just... You can't be anyone else because then you're not yourself.
You know, I've never done that. All the surgeries that I've never, ever had photo references until we went to Korea. I've always been like, I want to look like me, but like, what would this look like if you did this to me?
Actually, yeah, even my boobs, I just was like, I don't really know. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have a thing. But they did ask us for like photos for the eyes.
Right.
So I've always had stuff like that.
Right.
Because it's very important for them to get like a visual
See,
understanding
even
of
that,
like what you're
I
looking for.
was just like, whatever she does, I'll trust it.
Well, it worked out well.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I just don't look at stuff like that. But that's
Yeah.
the way that my brain is wired. But if you have a bit more of a tendency to have body dysmorphia, for example, social media is going to give you a lot of self-esteem issues.
Yes, I think, yeah, speaking from someone who has it, like, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if I'm ever doom scrolling on, like, skinny girls or, like, people on my feed, then I'm like, okay, I need to stop this because otherwise I'm going to booking 5 things and I'm going to regret maybe
Right.
or I'm going to, like...
Well, that's how people start Ozempic and weight loss pills.
we need to do a whole video on that.
Right.
Because Zempi is just, like, so...
Everyone's on it.
Everyone...
Not us, but like everyone's on it.
I'm sorry, like, I would rather get liposuction than Ozempic because the reason for is, like, yeah, okay, it's still a surgery, but, like, it's not that unhealthy, whereas Ozempic is extremely unhealthy.
Yeah.
And it will be detrimental to your future.
Yeah, again, that's how we choose surgery
Yeah.
for stuff, and that's just our mentality.
Look,
but
just go to the gym and eat healthy. Like, we will always do that over surgery, but, like, sometimes as you get older, it's harder to lose stubborn fat, which is why lipo is perfect for that. But I think if you're, like, really big trying to get really small, that's not good to do lipo because then that's really unnatural for your body to take away all that fat.
we're advocating for healthy lifestyles first,
Yeah.
and doing the internal work first,
Yeah.
working on your own security first, because that's the place where you're going to make the best decisions for you, is from a place of security. If you're coming from a place of having already low self-esteem, you're not going to make good decisions.
That's also why I've always said I recommend getting surgery when you're 30 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was 29, I think, but, like,
close enough.
Yeah, close
Have
enough.
your brain fully developed.
Exactly.
Make
And
better
like
decisions.
my body was fully developed, my face,
Yeah.
everything was. And then I decided, okay, you know what? I still want it. So I'm going to go and do it
Exactly.
for myself. I can afford it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Whereas with you, obviously, you got the implants and you take them out. So it's just like, these are the things that could happen when
Exactly.
you're making decisions younger.
100%.
Yeah.
I wish I never did it, but I just had a massive tattoo for 10 hours to cover my scars.
It looks amazing.
I'm so happy with
Yeah.
it, but like I had to go through that whole experience and then get it covered up, and now I can finally, 11 years later, freely buy clothes again.
Yeah.
Freely buy clothes again that could like write up and show my scars because they're not there anymore.
This is another thing we got to you got to think about when it comes. I know this question, I don't even think was about surgery, but yeah, it's like
we're going back to
there,
that.
there is repercussions of everything that you do.
Yeah, exactly. But look, it kind of does link to the question that she asked anyway, because this is the loop that you'll go down. This is the spiral that you'll mentally go down when you go on social media. You'll be like, okay, do I need to book in that surgery? Do I need to see this? Do I need to see that? And then, look, you might even go down the rabbit hole of like, well, what do I need to do to get that money to make that happen? Right? So that's a whole, we'll touch on that on a whole different episode, I believe.
Yeah.
But for, like Cass was saying, if you do come from the place of body dysmorphia, then you will have those self-esteem issues. For me, I don't have body dysmorphia, so when I'm doing it, I'm actually looking at like, ooh,
How can I improve myself?
yeah, like what would that haircut look
Yeah.
like on me, or like things like that.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's a push to a glot, but I know where to draw the line.
I think that's a good way of looking at it. Like if you're looking at it like how you have the canvas, you love your canvas, you just want to kind of like make subtle tweaks and improve it. That is coming from a place of confidence and just glow up. Whereas if you're looking at it like, I hate myself, I want to be someone else, how can I do that?
I need to be skinny like her.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
And it's obviously a work in progress for me as well, but like just coming from my own point of view, don't do that. That's why I didn't do anything till I was like 30, because I was just like, I need to be sure about this.
I think that's the most sage advice that we can give here on Boujee Girl Hotline is like, just wait.
Just wait.
Literally just wait.
Just wait.
And you'll have the money, you'll have the clarity, and then if you still want it, then you go get it done, and then you know that it's because you wanted to do it, not because you were pressured by some internal
social media
voice or social media. Yeah, that's like, you're not good enough.
And yeah, again, because like if you do it too soon, you're gonna like cut the cost, cut the service, and you might regret it later on down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which we don't want for you girlies.
No.
That's why you ask us and we give you advice.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's Boujee Girl Hotline done for the day.
Yes. See you guys next
Like
time.
and subscribe,
Like and subscribe.
baby. Bye.